Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Doggie Diamonds. Guess who is live? I'm 3 minutes late. I was like, you know what? I didn't feel like waiting, so I came on 3 minutes late. I'm not by myself. She got a lot of feedback on her computer today, but we gonna work it out. Don't worry about it. Her volume is turned down. You
Uh-oh.
can't even see it, but I'm not here alone today. I have a guest with me that's gonna chime in on the subject because I don't really be liking to talk about stuff like, even though this is a matter of importance, I think this is black business, so I could talk about this. I just don't like talking about gossipy stuff sometimes, so I'm gonna bring my co-host in today. Let me see if I could get this right. Let's see. All right, here we go. This is, oh, there she go. Okay, you see her, and this is her name. So say what's up to the people.
What's up? How y'all doing? It is your girl Mermaid here on Doggie Diamonds TV.
So you see her a lot of times. She is the moderator in the chat room. I've known her for a while now, right? Maybe what, 3 years now?
Longer than that. It's been years.
No, it ain't been
It's,
3 years. It's been about 3 years. But I met you at the Black Power Awards, and
yes.
we got cool, and you was putting me
hmm
on to some stuff about Atlanta and all that, where she
Yeah.
currently resides and all that, and yeah, just it's just this my homegirl right here, and she what is it that you do though? Let them know what you do.
I am a wellness and spiritual coach in Atlanta. I'm also a cosmetologist as well, and I'm also in the early child care education field. So I work with pre-K children and elementary school children. So I do things in the community involving children and spiritual growth and wellness. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, why you said that like you was reading off a piece of paper or something like that? You're like,
No,
I
I'm just letting
am
it flow. But if
uh
anyone
uh
wants further information on me, you can go to naturalmermaid.com or my YouTube channel, which is Natural Mermaid.
okay, yeah. And at the end of it all, she actually when you think about it, you hear her smoke detector in the back, so she'd rather be on here with me than fixing her smoke detector, and her house could possibly burn down, but she's on here with me and y'all. So shout out to her. So
Right. No, I just haven't changed the battery like some of y'all on the line.
yeah, no, I refuse to go on live with my smoke detector. That so they see what's on the screen.
hmm
You put it out there earlier. I spoke to you
Yes.
yesterday. I said let's do a live together, and this just happened. Like, this is breaking news
Right.
this morning. We got the news, and you tagged me in the Instagram post, and you let everybody know he's going live, which we should have promoted a little bit more, but it is what it is. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. This is really live, like right now, live 8:15 Eastern Standard Time, live. So explain to the people, if they were under a rock or they don't know what's going on, what happened today.
Okay, so Nick Cannon, he has had a relationship with Viacom since he was 17 years old. He started off, of course, in the show All That. He also was the youngest writer to work at Nickelodeon,
Mm.
which is, of course, owned by Viacom. And he recently, on June 30th, so about 2 weeks ago, he had a show on his platform called Cannon's Class, where he was speaking with Professor Griff, and they got into discussion about really just Black history. And he started speaking about, melanin, and he cited Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, and he was speaking on people with deficiency, how it can cause for them to act barbaric, or for them to have to rape, steal, kill, pillage to survive. And that ruffled feathers at Viacom. And they told him that they would be, severing ties with him. And he doubled down. He didn't apologize. He said, y'all owe me an apology, actually. And he said that he wants his full rights for wilding out, that they are trying to swindle him out of. So this is a topic and an issue on Black business. And these are the type of conversations that are needed to be had, especially during this time. And for the children that are watching, to be able to kind of see what to do and what not to do, what's good business, what's bad business, contracts, things of that matter. So not just to mention the Black History part too, which is, needed to be discussed as well, because we're the only culture where people tell us who we are and where we're from. And no other culture deals with that aside from us. And when we speak our truth, we become anti-Semitic, even if we aren't being that way. So that turns into basically anti-white narrative once we start speaking about who we are, makes people uncomfortable. So that is what's going on with Nick Cannon.
You said a mouthful. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. You wasn't scared. You did. So, in your opinion, what did he say wrong?
I don't feel like he said anything wrong. I actually applaud him for being able to even be comfortable enough in his own skin to speak that type of truth. He didn't say anything wrong. Everything that he said actually is historical fact, and people can see this stuff in literature, and it's noted well in history. So nothing that he was saying was, they called him a conspiracy theorist. They called him a racist. They called him a bigot. They called him all these names for simply just speaking on Black history. But, our history never has been properly told. It's always taught to us and told to us. So it ruffled feathers.
I think, not that I agree or disagree with him. That's not even important. The important thing is that.
And let me just say this,
go ahead.
Not to cut you off, Doggy. Whatever it is that I say, it's my own opinions. So don't hold
the opinions
Doggy
expressed by Mermaid doesn't reflect Doggie Diamonds TV. No, but I want to say this, right? I think he has the right to say what he feels, whether he's right, incorrect, historically. It might be some things that he need a little bit of correction on, but he said how he feel. What they should have done, opposed to firing him, was they should have brought him to the table, because they like to have town hall meetings and round tables about everything. And you have your white scholar come sit before him and sit with him, and y'all have dialogue, especially in these times where racial tension is crazy, in these times where we Black Lives Matter is getting painted everywhere. How could you fire a Black man from your corporation because he actually spoke up for what he thought or what he believes happened with Black people, and why white people are how they are, why they are the way they are historically? Again, he it's some things that he, about the melanin thing, he's not really 100% correct on that to a certain extent, because everybody has melanin. So a lot of times when you say, a roach has melanin, you know what I'm saying? You got white roaches, so
right. But I think he was more so getting to the different levels or types of melanin, like the U melanin versus the Bu melanin. And because, Dr. Frances Welsing, she did her whole thing. She wrote a whole book on melanin.
The ISIS papers is one of them.
Right, exactly.
So at the end of it all, would you go to Revolt though?
Sips tea.
No, I ain't sipping no tea. I'm sipping some water. Would you go to Revolt?
That wasn't tea either. That was yak. I'm just playing. Go to Revolt. Okay, see, here's my issue. I have a lot of issues with that, but I'm gonna just say that going to Revolt doesn't make sense, and here's why. Because I don't feel
Diddy's
like.
No, go ahead.
I don't feel like Diddy has ever made right by some of the people that have came forward about him, such as Mace, who he's worked with and, for a long time. That really, a lot of other people, we know what happened with the Locks, and they publicly went on radio to discuss their business, dealings with him, even though they may have resolved that. But there's a lot of people that he's worked with that he hasn't resolved things with. So I feel like it's kind of almost seems like an opportunist to kind of want to come out and say, oh, Nick, come over here, because there's so many other people that are saying haven't been paid. So it only makes sense to pay those people first before, wanting to talk business with someone else.
You know what they do? What they do is when these people owe, when these rich people like the Diddy's and Jay-Z's, when they owe people money, what they do, they don't pay them the money they owe them. They create new opportunities for them to get money, and they'll be like, well, I got you 50,000 over here, so technically I don't owe you. That's what they do. This is a fact. What I think my advice to Nick Cannon is, yo, I'm pretty sure he made a lot of money. Start your own thing. Now, this is the issue that a lot of people don't know. And we say we gotta support our own, we gotta do this, we gotta do that. Go over to Revolt, do this, that, and the third. This is what a lot of people don't know. All radio, podcasts, YouTube, television is run by advertisers. So when the advertisers pull out, I don't care what network he's on, because you've seen now what he started doing was he started exposing that some of the advertisers wouldn't advertise with anybody. Revolt wouldn't advertise with anybody, not Revolt, Viacom, CBS wouldn't advertise with anybody who supported Black Lives Matter. And Nick Cannon said that. So you think that you could go out there and do what you want to do, but who's going to pay for it? So again, with us on YouTube, when you look on YouTube and you see all these bells and whistles on the channel, this is not a program. This is me putting these banners on here and all of this red and all this stuff. This is me actually creating all this stuff. So a lot of times when we ask for donations and we ask people to donate, this is what gets paid for when you do this. You know what I'm saying? And for Nick Cannon, if he wants to have a production, it has to get paid for. You know, and you using your own money to do stuff, it doesn't make any sense, because how are you still going to make money? You make money from advertisers, you make money from sponsorships, you make money from that. So with him being called anti-Semitic and other advertisers, because that's what it is. It's not, trust me, it's not Viacom or CBS. It's the advertiser saying, look, I'm not giving him no bread. I'm not advertising with his show. Once he loses the advertising space, his show can't be paid for. You know what I'm saying?
But you don't feel that it's the companies too? Because, you know, the companies tend to be owned by, you know, the people that
but they
do that term out there at him.
Yeah, but it's the advertiser, because Viacom doesn't pay for his show. The advertisers pay for his show. Like, you got something called commercials. We ever notice in any radio show or any TV show, they be like, yo, time to pay the bills, let's go to commercial. The commercials pay for the show. So if advertisers get scared of him because they threw them words out there at him, then they're definitely not going to want to advertise. Now, of course, those individuals is up top of the ladder, and they're like, hold on, he said what? Then he's out of here, you know. And get them likes up too, man. There's a couple of hundred people in here, and there's only 56 likes. I need those likes to be up too.
Hit the like button when you step in the room. It's common courtesy. Hit the like button when you step into the room. Thank you.
So I wouldn't me personally, I wouldn't go with Diddy, because I know he doesn't own Revolt. He's saying it's 100% black owned.
Right.
Cut it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't cut it out. You know what I'm saying? I think he really should just start his own thing. Because the sad thing about when Viacom, I also had to deal with Viacom CBS for my last season of Doggie Diamonds No Filter was over in Viacom. And I'm gonna be real with y'all, man. When I went in there, I asked them off the muscle, what can I talk about? Because I'm very, I speak my mind, I have no filter, and I like to talk. The first thing I said to them was, what can I say? And they let me know the guidelines and the boundaries of what I shouldn't talk about. And they said, you know, anything with race could be a little, you know, risque. And, you know, anything dealing with the LGTB C3PO R2D2. But I asked, because I know who I am and I know what I'm gonna say. So I asked them off the muscle, because they had shows. I can't think of the name of the podcast. So when they listen to you and you upset some people, you out of here. You know what I'm saying? And we have since then left CBS and went with another company called Notorious. But yeah, we left CBS because they couldn't sell any ads for my show. We got Doggie Diamonds, no filter. They couldn't sell no ads for the Gangster Chronicles, and I spoke to one of the head buyers, and she was like, y'all doing the numbers, but a show called the Gangster Chronicles, it's hard for buyers, and I'm like, so y'all have a show on BET called American Gangster. They have movies called American Gangster. You have all of
Right.
these white Italian dudes with gangster in it. Cut it out. It ain't got nothing to do with that. It has something to do with, and I believe in my heart. I don't want to throw any I don't want, but I really just think I would think it because we was black. Honestly. But I couldn't
Yeah.
cry. I never cried racism. All we did was say, "Yo, look, we just gonna take our talent somewhere else." You know what I'm saying? And we was there. I was there for a year. If you go up there, you can see a lot of stuff when I was recording radio.com, same building. You know what I'm saying? And I used to go in the Viacom building. You know what I'm saying? And I noticed, but BET is there's so many networks because it's called Black Entertainment Television, but it's owned by
Hmm.
Viacom. So it's so many things that we don't know because we not in them boardrooms, and it's a lot that go in them boardrooms. It's a lot that go on. So, what do you think Nick Cannon next move should be?
I feel like his next move should be him just focusing on Cannon's class and not having it be with a major corporation or platform. Him just being grassroots about it and doing his own thing. Like, I feel like that's kind of his best option right now. I don't see things turning out better for him if he were to go to Revolt. I feel like if anything, he would put himself in a deeper trick bag, really. He might be able to maybe put Wildin' Out on Netflix or a streaming platform like that. I know Magic Johnson, he has a platform called Aspire, and that's black owned. Maybe he could tell me why you're making the face.
Because you know what? Because I don't because I want to I want to get people to understand that black owned doesn't mean necessarily mean right, because
I agree.
black owned people have to obviously when Nick Cannon first went there, he pitched the ideas, right? And they bought into it. But then when you bring people on that they don't agree with, they like, all right, we agree to that, but we ain't agree to this, agree to that, to this. So a lot of times when you say black owned, I think that's automatically we think it's a pass that our people is going to agree with what we doing. No, many of our people are on the take. Many of our
No,
people,
that's so true.
yeah,
I'm glad you pointed that out.
many of our people done been sold us out.
Whew.
Many of our people are run by them. So black owned don't necessarily mean you're gonna have the creative freedom, and you're definitely gonna have the to do what you want to do. So at the end of it all, um I think he should do his own thing. Cannon class is not even his biggest thing. It's Wildin' Out. He said Wildin' Out is some $1 billion thing.
Right.
So I'm like, hold on.
Exactly.
Cannon's
That's
class
what
is
I'm saying. He should take that to Netflix or something. But I know he's saying he's, at this point trying to get the full ownership of it, and they're trying to swindle him out of his
yeah,
business.
because they'll
So,
take him off it, and all them people will stay right there on the show. And
but
go ahead.
what I appreciated though is that, what is her name? I think her name is Angela V and DC Young Fly, the
Uh
different
huh.
people,
Mm-hmm.
they were backing him like, we're riding with you, Nick. Like, you gave us the opportunity, where you go, we go, we're gonna get money, we're gonna be good. Like, we're riding with you with whatever you choose to do. But then there was one Wild and Out castmate, I forget his name, but I saw a tweet and he was like, well, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm gonna get that bag regardless. So he didn't really say like, thank you, Nick, or so
Yeah.
it shows the divisiveness within just black people and the black community, and that showed right there. People will go for that bag and say F you even though you put me on. So
I think unfortunately, well, let's not get it twisted. Nick Cannon got money. All right, so I'm not gonna be sitting here. I'm not gonna cry my eyes out for him like he's going. He gonna go live in Brooklyn in a shelter or something like that. He's
No,
up.
true.
He's up. He's very. I'm pretty sure he's very well off. The issue that I have with it, and the only reason why I'm speaking on it, is the fear, like you opened the show with, of us speaking of what we believe to be our truth, what we study, what our scholars taught us. So when we speak of what our scholars taught us, I don't think anybody should get angry. I think they should have corrected him. You can't make somebody apologize because Dog the Bounty Hunter was over there too. And Dog the Bounty Hunter
Right.
done said all types of crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? And he's straight up and down called somebody an N-word on his show before. You know what I'm saying? And so why, and they didn't really sever ties with him. So at the end of it all, I think it's a wake up call, a good wake up call for Nick Cannon, for
Right.
myself, and for others that never get too comfortable to know that they will replace us at any time. They will get rid of us at any time, no matter how much money you make them, because the money you make them, there's always somebody else in the cut that's like, I'll do it, boss, and I won't. I
That's
promise, boss.
waiting.
Yeah, I promise, boss. I won't.
Waiting. They've been in the cut,
Yeah, yeah,
waiting.
yeah.
They'll do it for way less,
And could we
and they'll
say
do
this?
whatever they're told.
Could we say this? 50 Cent, yo, you gotta chill, man. 50 Cent making fun of him for getting I don't respect that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
I
don't
don't
know.
respect 50. I have a serious issue with 50, and it's because I don't feel like the black community wants to hold him accountable, whether it's him disrespecting black women or whether it's him making fun of Nick Cannon for actually having a conversation about black culture, something that he would never do. So I just think it's just goofy and it's ridiculous because for this man to not even have a relationship with his spitting image, but then he's so quick to jump into everything involving black people, but he makes it worse. Like he's never uplifting. He still wants to carry on a beef with Ja Rule from like 30 years ago. So I can't with 50 Cent. Like I cannot. I feel like he's detrimental to the community
Yeah, I
at this
didn't I
point.
didn't I didn't respect him, laughing at him for, getting terminated and fired. Like, come on, man. Like you gotta chill. Like at the end of it all, saying somebody is a troll and all that, that don't that don't make it cool. That don't make it okay. You know what I'm saying? That don't make it okay. At this time, at the end of it all, we need to Nick Cannon. This is what I take from stuff. It's not that I got a well. I do have a relationship with Nick Cannon, right? Me and him is actual cordial on social media. But I've spoken to him. He was responding to me in private and publicly. I'm fearful of what happened to him because that could be me.
Yeah.
That's what everybody should look at. Like, okay, so if you ever have a moment where you want to say anything about your heritage, anything about your lineage, anything about somebody else, and it's not that he just sat there and said, "Yo, blah 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 blah." He was quoting sources again. What you should do
Right.
is come and say that's not historically correct because of this. Get them scholars to come out. Get them people to challenge him, and you don't just terminate somebody or sever the relationship based off of what he said, because again, I thought he wasn't even as bad as he could have been. He could have really went there, and
Right.
he was nice.
He
Had
was.
that had been somebody else, he could have really, really, really went there. But you know what I'm tired of? I'm tired of people sitting before um the masses of people and being passive and being like, you don't have to be fiery, you don't have to be a Dr. Khaled, you don't have to be a Minister Farrakhan, but you could get your point across. And I'm just tired of every time we say something, we get combated with somebody that look like us. You know what I'm saying? Like it's we always get somebody that jumps in and wants to defend them, and that's what bothers me about 50 Cent. Yo, you ain't gotta say nothing, my G. You know what I'm saying? Because
Exactly.
when you said when you said F Jimmy Iovine, what they do to you? You was out of here. They
Right.
got him out of here in the scope. He could front all he want, like, oh, I didn't want to do music no more, TV. No, they got you out of here. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely wouldn't go with Diddy though. I don't just something about his track record is I don't know. I definitely wouldn't go with Diddy. Um
Right.
I
Just
don't
too,
yeah,
nah, yeah.
I don't think but Canon Class I don't really think it got to be messed up though, right? Like you have that's not even really your focal point. Wildin' Out is your focal point. The
Right.
Masked Singer is your focal point. He has a radio show in LA also that he does. Those is your focal point. And then you do this thing on the side where you feel like, okay, let me do something on the side where I'm gonna get a little knowledge in for my people. And
Right.
that's what gets you canned. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? That's what gets
But
you canned. So go ahead.
that right there just shows how they don't be wanting us to get that knowledge in.
Mm-hmm.
So they probably knew he was doing that and was waiting for the opportunity for him to get too comfortable speaking that type of truth to our people, because it's been the elephant in the room the longest about Black culture and where are we from? Are we this? Are we that? Like, all this different talk. And especially during this period right now where mostly a lot of people, they might be at home and, all this different stuff is taking place. It's like people have the time to actually be with their children and talk about these things and reteach them truth. So that's a part of what ruffled the feathers too.
Damn, I lost blue in my voice. The super chat is open by the way too. So what I wanted to say too is crazy because you know he's in a weird position, and I think that what happened to him is gonna scare a lot of people. A lot of people ain't gonna want to say
Hmm.
nothing. They're like, I ain't losing my job. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, exactly.
I got kids to feed. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say nothing. But this is when I believe people like Oprah should step in. People because she so-called has her network too, right? Oprah should step in. Different people should step in and say, "Yo, look,
Now we know we can expect for her to step in and say something.
but my thing is so my thing is this. So why do Black people accept Oprah? Then why do we love Oprah then?
I think that, you know what? I feel like some Black people, they just want to hold on to what they feel is success, or they just want to hold on to, you know, the status quo and what they're used to. Like
We
that's
respect
all they
anybody that's
know.
rich and Black. We just like yo,
Exactly.
yeah, cause
Exactly.
but so he was with Viacom for 10 years, right?
He was with Viacom for longer than that, since he
Wow.
was 17.
Whoa.
So that's like over 20
Can
years.
you imagine the money he's made them? He's
Right.
probably made them billions. And then they'll
Exactly.
just say, "Well, you out of here." You know what I'm saying?
And
They
see,
just
that's why this situation is deeper than what people were saying when it came to that Dr. Sabi documentary. They're like, protect Nick Cannon at all costs. This situation is deeper right here because, it's one thing to talk about, health and things like that, but for him to actually be discussing us being the real Hebrews and
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about like melanin and talking about the Caucasus Mountains, like, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
That this is information that
but this is information that's out there. Like, are some of y'all like y'all got shows called Vikings and stuff like that? Where y'all show that y'all lived in the mountain. No, for real. Like, all right, let's be honest. Like, if we really gonna deal with stuff, it's called the Caucasus Mountains, right? Y'all are
right.
Caucasians. I'm confused. How do y'all get mad at somebody for saying what is out there? You know what I'm saying? It's out there. But do you think, and this is might be a reach, but do you think because of the Dr. Sabi documentary supposed to come out, they're trying to silence him, or this is something separate?
Nah, I think this is something totally separate because, he hasn't really fully been talking a lot about that documentary. He hasn't really fully been pushing it too much. He's been mentioning it like here and there, but not too much. Like he's been this right here is something totally different. I feel like it may have brought more eyes to him,
Mm-hmm.
but I think this is totally different because it's involving actual black culture. Like it's involving like speaking on like who we really are versus, this herb can help you heal this and heal that. Because most people ain't gonna follow that advice anyways.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, let's be real. Most people would watch that Dr. Sebi documentary or
Drinking a
not,
Coca-Cola and eating some
and you're
Wendy's.
gonna go back to exactly
Yeah,
going
yeah.
back to that same thing that you do. You're gonna watch it and say, "Oh, that's good," and then you're gonna sip some yak and eat some hot flaming.
You said you was sipping yak. That look like wine though. Yeah, wine is good for you. I heard. I don't drink, but are you? Cause for me, again, when I went to my deal with Viacom, CBS, I was like, yo, all right, what can I say? But I had enough. I see with me, I never feel like I never get too comfortable because I already know at any given time they could get you out of here. So I was like, yo, okay, what can I say? What can't I say? And then I know how to tread the line of getting my point across still, but not offending them because you have to sometimes talk very coded. So
Right.
I remember I did an interview with Gucci Man, and prior to the interview, Gucci Man said to me, "Don't ask me nothing about Jeezy. I don't want to talk about him." So I was like, "Well, you done killed my whole interview. And then if I ain't asked you nothing about Jeezy, what we gonna talk about? You know what I'm saying?"
Right.
So
Hmm.
I'm sitting there in my mind. I say, "How can I get him to talk about Jeezy without asking him about Jeezy?" So I asked him about Atlanta. So I said, look, people will call me right while I'm live. So I said, Atlanta, is a big place. Do you mess with any artists out there? And he was like, yeah, I messed with a few dudes. I think at this time he was messing with like, I think Rocco and a few people. So I was like, what about some of the up and coming artists? He was like, I don't mess with none of them. So right there, I knew he didn't rock with
Hmm.
Jesus. So I was like, what about some of the dudes that you had big records with? You don't mess with them. Oh, no, I don't mess with them. So that let me know. That's how I got to ask him about Jeezy, but without saying Jeezy name. And then, so it's ways that you can do stuff. You ain't gotta be so blatant. But it's sad that at this particular point in time that we still gotta be silent in this climate where the
And you
truth.
know what?
Go ahead.
That's one of my main issues. How can people say Black Lives Matter? They paint it on the pavements, they put the street names up, they're, around saying Black Lives Matter. So if Black lives apparently matter, doesn't that mean that Black truth should matter too?
Oh no, see, because the truth, see, this was what makes it deep, right? I'm making sure my phone is on mute. This is what makes it deep, right? Because the truth injects something in black people to make us look at ourselves different. It makes us have a certain esteem about ourselves, and
Right.
because if you let them tell it, right? If you let them give us our history, we were slaves, and that's about it. And they
Mhm.
actually freed us. They freed us, and that's why we are the way we are. And they gave us all our rights. So when he goes prior to slavery and he goes and say we descendants of queens, we the original Hebrews, we this, that, and the third, that's when they like, hold up, you can't be teaching people that stuff. You know what I'm saying? You gotta teach them.
Exactly. It's too empowering.
So when you think of religion, right? When you look at religion and Jesus is white and the angels are white. At the end of the day, psychologically for a black person, your savior is white. So how could you dislike white people if your savior is white? And I'm not telling anybody to dislike white people, but I'm just saying they're when your Lord and Savior is white, and he's all over the church, and he's, they got in, what's that, in Brazil, they got a big gigantic statue, like a skyscraper statue. How could you look at them and say that they ever did anything wrong? And then they got justification for slavery. Like they'll go to biblical quotes where they justify slavery and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Remember that recently happened. I forget the brother's name. He had the interview with the pastor, the Caucasian pastor in the church, and he was saying how slavery actually was a blessing.
Yeah. That was a politician.
It was a blessing. So that just shows the divide in the way we view history. Like there's a divide because they look at things that are painful in an uplifting way, not all of them, some of them, and we view our history in a way to where we're not even able to speak about it. So, they're able to have Columbus Day.
Let me talk to the slow people in the chat really quick. I'm not saying Jesus was white, okay? Don't get it twisted. I'm saying they depict him as white. So, I mean, y'all should know me better than that. Just don't type sometimes because you just want to talk. I know Jesus is not white. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I never saw him, but just from the physical description of him, it's not possible. We know that. But what I'm saying is that when they change the course of history and they tell you somebody is white and you're considered to be your Lord and Savior, how could you go against a people that looks like your Lord and Savior? Because he don't look like you. And then they tell you Lincoln freed you. We fought for you in the Civil War. We gave you civil rights. We gave you affirmative action. We're not bad people. So that's the point that I'm making. You know what I'm saying? So when they do stuff, it's messed up. So when you take them back, and you got to think, Nick Cannon has a big platform. The Cannon's class is not as big as some of the other things, but he's taking you prior to 1555. You know what I'm saying? He's going back and he's saying we're this, we're that, and they like, hold on, you can't be teaching that. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. But I just find it funny how and forgive me, right? When it comes to us, did you notice that we could be the N-word? It's in rap music, it's on TV, it's on anything. We could be the N-word where everybody thinks we're that, but any other racial slur, people are angry. Like you can't say nothing else. Like if you could say N-word, it's in the music. All the black women are B's according to entertainment. All of us are N's, and that's cool. That gets sold, that gets marketed, it gets packaged in movies, it gets packaged in videos, it gets packaged in music, it gets packaged in TV shows. But the minute you say anything else about anybody else, you're fired. But we could get called scum and it's cool. But the minute you say something, and that's just crazy to me. So it's just funny how we really have to pay attention for the powers that be, and how, because even when they decide to say, okay, the N-word, you can't use it no more. Did we say that or they said that? How they gonna call us something? And then we flip it and say, nah, I don't mean that no more. They say, okay, so now y'all can't use it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So yeah, it's just really it's really crazy in the way we depict ourselves, in the way, because I'm gonna be real with you. Like I like everybody enjoying themselves. I like everybody having a good time, but we got to be more than just women on twerking when they having a good time. Hey, like, because like I was thinking about something today, and I was just thinking about how we dominate the news. Like we dominate the news. Like when you go on any blog, you go on any news, it's always something about us, but it's always something about our dysfunction. Like Meg Thee Stallion is shot, and it's like, yo, nothing good happens to us. Like everything with us is just like Meg Thee Stallion shot, Tory Lanez arrested, Deshaun Jackson says this. It's like, yo, everything with us it's like the whole culture of news and entertainment is based off of something that we did wrong. But if somebody goes out there and starts a school, like they never talk about LeBron's school. They don't even talk about Diddy's school. Like you don't even know about none of these things. But everything with us is we dominate the headlines. So I be wondering sometimes, do the pilgrims look at us like, yo, these people are idiots and animals? You know what I'm saying? Because when you look at the news and it's like 45 people shot in a weekend in Chicago and all that, it's like, I know that this is by design. That's why I be saying to people, sometimes
It is.
you have to start sharing good news. We have good news. We have positive stuff going on. We can't always gravitate towards the train wreck. We can't always gravitate towards, when you go on the road and you driving, most of the traffic is not even from the accidents. It's people looking. Yo, mind your business.
It can't always be trauma and drama. And, our situations as a collective won't change until people want more balance in their lives. Like, you have to actually want to be empowered. You have to actually give someone a view, give someone a donation, give someone a thumbs up. Do the free stuff that you can do when it's positive for us and our people, because the generation coming in behind us are depending on that. But so long as you only care about the negativity and the drama and the trauma, you're greenlighting them to just get away with continuing to promote dysfunction and continuing to oppress us.
Yo, it's funny. Hitting the like button doesn't cost anything. Because they could give a donation. They could give a donation if they want to, right? But my audience tends not to. It's not the end of the world, but they won't even hit the like button. But they'll sit here and watch you, but they won't hit like. And I'm confused. I'm like, yo, it don't.
Hit the like button. It's common courtesy.
Yeah. Low Culture TV says something that's real though. We do share news, and the people don't. We do share good news, and the people don't care for it. And that is absolutely, yo, you right. Because at the end of it all, the cancer thrives off of negativity. So we're so dysfunctional, and we've been taught to be so dysfunctional that we share fight videos. I seen a video recently that came down my timeline where they're beating up this female. Obviously, it's in front of her child, and then this one dude run and kick the little baby, and I'm like, yo, I'm upset that I even have to see this. Like why are y'all showing this? Like, what is the point of putting this out there? Because are we putting this out there so we could say, oh, what you would do in this situation? Or are you putting this out there because you want justice? Because we don't be wanting justice. We don't want nobody to go to jail ever. It's like, yo, I'm not telling. So what's
that's what I'm saying. Like, Black people, you can't have it both ways. And I mean, this goes for all people too. You can't have it both ways. You can't on one hand say you want justice, but then on the other hand say, oh, someone is snitching and this, that, and the third. It's like you have to pick your battle. If you're saying that, oh, it's not about snitching, when it happens to you and yours, say nothing. You have no right to say anything.
Shout out to Ghost Walker for the super chat. Yeah, no, it's real. And again, I'm not in the streets. I always make this known. I'm not in the streets. Unfortunately.
Me either. I'm on the sidewalks happily.
But you know what though? I live by a street code, and my street code is mind your business. I'm not involved. Now, if I see somebody robbing an old lady or harming a woman, I will always intervene, or a child will always intervene. But at the end of it all, if dudes is breaking in a store or something like that, I don't got nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? I just know how to mind my business. I don't have nothing to do with that. And I just think people not minding their business, it involves you in things. Like when you pull out the phone and you record stuff, what's supposed to happen with this video? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's supposed to happen with this video? If you pull out the phone and record, what's supposed to happen with this video? So I'm always bugged out like, yo, so what do you want to happen? Because if you record, then that means you want the police to see what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
But see,
So
that's the problem. They record and they want it to go viral because they
likes.
just want some laughter off of pain. It's like black people are so used to, I guess, drama and trauma. They want the laughter off of the pain more so than actually to see the justice. So we have to get past the point of just only wanting to be entertained
Yes,
by
yes, yes,
traumatic experiences
yes,
and
yes.
from trauma. Like, we have to
Yep,
stop wanting to be entertained by our own demise,
yep. Shout out
because
to
that's a huge part of the problem.
Joseph, and shout out to Bars and Hooks TV. Mermaid, do you have my Cash App handy? Can you put it in the chat? You can't do that, right? Because you
No, I can do it.
okay, yeah.
The Cash App is $Doggie
Yeah,
Diamonds.
yeah, just simple, yep.
Send something via Cash App, even if it's just $1,
Yeah.
$5, 10, 20, whatever. If you are liking this discussion and what we're talking about, because not all platforms will even speak about things like this. So the fact that this is no filter and we're doing this for the community,
And they
send
be
something
like,
super
you're
chat
out of
for.
here too now. Because they could do that. You Ralph, I believe his name is Ralph Well Six said pain porn. Ooh, that's deep. Pain porn. How about trauma porn? I think that's what we are in love with. Trauma. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I get mad when I see them fight videos, man. Yo, I get, because I'm just tired of it. Like, it took me, do you know how long it took me to watch the George Floyd video? I couldn't watch it initially because I'm
That's
like,
something that I still haven't watched, and
yeah,
I refuse to watch. And
yeah,
here is the reason
please.
why. Us as black people, we already have enough trauma in our DNA. And I cannot afford to put any extra trauma in my DNA, especially with the work that I do. But we can't afford to just every single day, we're traumatized. You know, we look in our timeline, we're traumatized. We look at the news, we're traumatized. The headlines, we're traumatized. It's like, we can't let this stuff play back and replay if we're actually trying to heal. And so I feel like that's something that we have to work on as a collective too. Like, choose your battles again. Do you actually want to heal, or do you actually want to continue to be entertained via trauma?
Yeah, and you know what? And you're right. At shout out to JDMD for the donation. No, you're right though, because we starting to look at stuff, and we share that. But I've seen young ladies and young men graduate from college with, I mean from high school with 20 scholarship offers, and that's not good news. It's almost like we so twisted
Exactly.
that we celebrate when dudes get out of jail, but when somebody get their degree or diploma, we be like, yo, F school. You know what I'm saying? But we celebrate the dude
Exactly.
who might have been a real criminal, and he got oh, look, you got diesel, you got big, you know what I'm saying? So I just think we really need to change the way we think. It starts with me. It starts with you. You know, everybody just has to be accountable, and don't feel like you have to be in the conversation of BS.
Right.
Because I think that's what be happening too. Because, you know, when it's going up and down your timeline, you see the hashtag and everybody talking about, you like, what's going on? I feel left out because I don't know what's going on. Yo, it's plenty of conversations. Just leave me out. I don't want to be.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, I do
Exactly.
not want to be in a conversation that bad. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, right, the murderers of Breonna Taylor is still out there.
Exactly. Meanwhile, the other day, Portia Williams was arrested for peaceful protesting. Yandy Smith, Tamika Mallory, other people. So, you know, black people need to get behind supporting people who, you know, are trying to speak positivity, be positively on the front lines. You know, people want to get caught up in so much drama, and it's like, I get it. We've lived lives our whole, I don't want to say whole, but for generations we've been involved in drama and trauma.
Yes,
That's
yes,
just
yes.
facts for generations. But we have to be able to decide, like, how are we going to kind of wean some of it out of our lives, or at least take some of it out of your day, so that every single day just isn't you're singing a sad song, because you will create that for your life.
What about, you know, my thing is though, what about the children? Like, do we not care about the children? Like, do we not care about the future of the children? Like,
You see what I mean?
when you first of all, when you are beating up a child's mother in front of the child, and then the dude ran and kicked the little girl, I was like, listen, man, I know for a fact that I'm going to jail forever. If I'm the uncle, cousin, brother, father, I'm going to jail forever. Once you harm a child, the gloves is off. You know, the gloves is off, but this is what we're doing. So it's a video floating around. Like, I refuse to share, like, even the video where the dude smacked the female in the face with the skateboard, the video where they threw the young lady in the garbage can, another video where they do that. But then again, I started saying to myself, see, me, I always look at everything like, why is this happening now? Why is this being spreaded? That was creating the narrative of black men don't care about black women. And that's another show that I want to do with you, because I think we need to have an open discussion with that, because it's a big divide with us. It's a big divide.
And 50 Cent fed into that narrative, which I have an issue with. Lil Wayne fed into that narrative, which I have an issue with, especially with his oldest daughter being a brown-skinned black girl. So he should have came forward on behalf of her to say, you know what, I was messed up for laughing at that and being a part of that discussion. Like, that's not cool. You know, I have a black daughter, and you know that's not okay. So that we definitely have to have that discussion too.
I think he was so happy that 50 Cent was being his friend, and they finally talked to him, you know, because see, me, I'm not going to let somebody sit before me and say something stupid. I'm always going to question everything. I don't care who you are. I don't care how friendly we are. I don't care about none of that. I'm going to ask you, what are you talking about? Can you at least elaborate? Because sometimes people do say stuff and it becomes a soundbite, but you have to at least give them a chance to shoot themselves in the foot and ask them, yo, what are you talking about?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, what are you talking about? But Lil Wayne, when I don't know, man, I think his brain is fried.
I think so too, and
yeah,
I think that he's been traumatized in many ways his own self.
Yeah.
You know, he kind of just, I don't want to say he gets a pass, but it's more so like I look at him as like, you're someone who's hurting, and I get it, and we just want you to get well.
But
it's more so
though,
that type of thing.
But let me go here with this, right? If you peep, that's who gets a platform, right? And he could say any of the madness he wants to say and do, right? When they ask him about, you know, when they ask these people, the Tiffany Haddishes, that's not a word, but when they ask the Tiffany Haddish, when they ask the Lil Wayne, they ask Young Thug, look at their responses. But when you could ask somebody like a Nick Cannon, they don't want to ask nobody intelligent. Why is it that when press asks people stuff pertaining to our issues, there's always somebody that's going to say something very, very dumb? If you notice that, it's always somebody that we look at them like, no, you just didn't
like
say
Terry
that.
Crews. Like Terry Crews. It's like, what is he doing trying to act like he's speaking for us? Like,
but I did a show before. I believe that, like, because I'm going to be real with you. Like, even though I have a platform and I'm on here, I don't speak for all black people. My own cousin might not even agree with me. You know what I'm saying? I got people in my family that still eat pork. They still do what they do. You know what I'm saying? So I can only speak for me and the people that agree with me. But I've never sit before an audience and say, this is black law. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what we all agree on. But
none of us really can do that because we all have so many, there's so many different like opinions and thought points and talking points and just agendas and everything. Like, no one black person is all on the same page. So I can never say that I'm speaking for all black people either. I do, however, want to hold us accountable. You know, I want us to be more responsible. I want this generation to help to get it right so that the generation coming in behind us, it doesn't have to be another generation of oppression. So that's why I appreciate Nick Cannon having that conversation, because it allows for people to expand their minds a bit more and be able to see themselves as more than just that N word, or more than just that B word, or more than just that H word that
Or the Savage.
really
That's
this
the one I don't like. I don't like Savage at all. I don't like like.
I don't like that
Yeah, I don't
either.
like a savage. Like a savage, that means you walk around on all fours eating unseasoned meat. So but you know what though? Let me ask you this: how much of it do you think is it of them mad at Nick Cannon, or is it them not liking Professor Griff and the minister? How much of it do you think? Do you think it's more of Nick Cannon doing something, or if it's more of who he was talking to? Because I'm leaning a little bit to, they've hated Professor Griff since Public Enemy, for the same thing. They call him a anti, those people. So
Right.
I'm thinking that has a lot to do with who he was talking to.
I feel like it had to do with who he was talking to, but I also feel that it has to do with him even having a platform where he's bringing nothing but really black people or black scholars on to
Mm-hmm.
discuss a part of history that they want to keep swept under the rug. They don't want us to go pre-Columbus.
Yeah.
Like everything is Columbus and post-Columbus, and even with the Columbus story, that isn't even full truth. And
Yes.
John Henry Clark wrote a whole book about that.
Yes. Yes.
So, they don't want us to go before that time period. And everyone that he brings on that platform to speak, they're talking about the history that they don't want us to awaken to, especially at this time period now where more people are becoming aware of truth and they're wanting to know more truth. So they're just ready to kind of discredit him and shut him down. And it is, people probably are scared. People probably are scared for Nick Cannon in the situation that he's in with this mega corporation.
But again, though, I'm going to say though, Nick Cannon is not broke by any standards. And when I say broke, it doesn't mean, it's not about money. But I'm pretty sure me and Nick Cannon don't have the same problems. So I just felt like this was a good topic to discuss, which was your topic. But I felt like when you said this is what we was going to discuss, I didn't even say I don't want to discuss that. I was like, well, let's do it. We'll do it tonight. But I
Right.
thought it was important because for people like me who want to bring on different people and give them different perspectives, I think censorship is just really really crazy when we're censored,
It is.
and it's we're being respectful, if that makes any sense, because we can use
Yeah.
some bad words to describe other people that could offend them, but when you're being respectful, because Nick
Mhm.
Cannon is not even disrespectful.
Right, because in the interview he was even saying, he was like, I'm gonna try and say this as best as I can. Like you can tell he was trying to be as politically
We
correct
correct.
as he could, but when you're talking about our history, there's no way to be politically correct because it's something that they don't want out of the Pandora box.
And it's funny, being politically correct means most of the time you're kind of lying, because
Right.
you're taking some of the truth and you're masking it with other words, and sometimes only certain words describe your expression. Of course there's another word for everything, but when you're speaking freely, open and honest, you shouldn't have to find ways to censor yourself in the moment. You know what I'm saying? You should be able to speak freely. So it's a lot, because historically they've said it. Like I was listening to like old John Wayne stuff. John
Mhm.
Wayne was raw. John Wayne, Ty Cobb. Look these people up. John Wayne. Look up Ty Cobb. And these are people that are the heroes. And the people that's on
Mhm.
our money, the people, many of our streets, many of our monuments are named after slave owners. So why shouldn't we be offended by that? You know what I'm saying? They
Exactly.
had an airport after John Wayne. Ty Cobb had the stolen base record before I think Ricky Henderson broke it. And we got Washington, we got all these people that did us dirty. Then you had I think what was it, Andrew Jackson was the president
Yep.
that had a lot of he had
His stats still up.
yeah.
Matter of fact, Trump was even saying that no one can take. They'll be fined. What do you say? They'll get up to 10 years
Yeah.
if they remove that statue. So they hold on to who they view as their heroes, but we can't discuss ours because then it's anti them.
Yeah, all the schools is named after them. streets, parks, everything is named after people who historically uh have been slave owners and slave traders and all that. But then when you say these things on a certain market, it's almost like, you know what's funny though? It's like they have to say it and then it's cool. But if you say
Exactly.
it, how dare you say that? And that goes back to slavery. That goes back to, we have to say slavery is not cool. And the only reason why we're saying slavery is not cool because we want to save the union. We don't care about y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because when people say Abraham Lincoln freed the slave, actually he didn't. You know what I'm saying? Because what they did was they changed different amendments and because when you have to think about it, right? When it says all men are created equal, and then you have slavery, that's that argument
Exactly.
right there. You know, so yeah, I believe more people should start reading. That's why I be doing news videos and I be like, I need the audio. I be trying to get y'all to read stuff. You know what I'm saying? I think reading is very, very important, even if it's in the form of hip hop. That's why I do my little news clips now, and I could narrate them or have voices on it. But I be wanting people to read, um, and I think everybody should read the ISIS papers. I
Absolutely.
think everybody
That
should
should be
read.
the starting point, I would say. Get into Dr. Francis Quest Welsing, get into um, John Henry Clark, Dr. Ben. There's
They
so
they
many
know they
people.
know these people, but again, people don't want to
Look
read.
up Steve Oakley, like
No, Steve
there's just
Coakley.
so
That's
many people. There's
Steve
so
Coakley is
many
one
of
of my
our
favorite.
people.
Steve Coakley is one of my favorite. But I say definitely read the ISIS papers. Definitely read um the autobiography of Malcolm X was my book that changed me. Was the
Mhm.
autobiography of Malcolm X. Read Message to the Black Man. And even if you don't believe with and these is by black scholars, but then read some of their books too, because some of their books they be telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like they got some books. Read
Exactly.
J.A. Rogers, Sex and Race. It's a lot of books that you should be reading, and not only for learning history, just to keep you sharp, to enhance your vocabulary. It's so many books, that we should be reading, and you know what, and still have fun. If you want to go out on a Friday and get yourself a drink,
Exactly.
yeah, cause I be trying to tell people, man, like, don't think that people who read and are conscious are boring. Cause I think that people just think, you in the house all day
Right.
burning incense and rubbing shea butter on your skin, and you know what I'm saying. You got like 60 unks everywhere, like you don't know how to have a good time. No, people, we do have a good time, but it's a time and a place for everything. And when you're in the middle of a war that we're in right
Exactly.
now, that is broadcasted, we can't be
It's
playing.
completely broadcasted.
Yeah.
If you do not, and if you cannot realize and tell that you are on the battlefield and this is a war that is playing out right before your eyes, you live underneath a rock. So now is the time to empower yourself with this literature. Now is the time to, get yourself put a little bit aside, get some necessities and some essentials together because we're in those times.
Yes.
So I think it's a beautiful discussion to be able to be had with just this whole Nick Cannon topic, because it's a way for parents to kind of just re-educate their children while they aren't in the classroom, because that's the main thing that was having their minds on lockdown for real, for real.
Shout out to Gail in the chat room. She said something that I wanted to say before we got up out of here. They canceled Nick faster than they canceled the police that killed blacks. And it's funny though, because normally they'll say Nick Cannon is suspended. Normally they'll say we're investigating Nick Cannon. People are offended. Sometimes they do different things and then they'll terminate him. Nah, they we don't watch the fuzz body murk black people right on camera, and they'll say we got to do an investigation. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
We watch it
Exactly.
with our own two eyes, and they'll say we got to do an investigation before we do anything. But Nick Cannon does a show where he talks about something, and out. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even know if that was that a new interview or was that old?
That was from 2 weeks ago.
Oh wow.
It just kind of started resurfaced and going viral because, certain groups of people didn't like what was being said, so they kind of
Facts.
remade the video kind of surface.
Yeah, so you know what's funny? But before we go to support is everything. And when people say we gotta support our own, we gotta support our own, we gotta build our own, it takes a lot of time, effort, money, and a lot of resources. I know y'all been Dr. Umar and Brother Polited before, but everybody's not like that. You know what I'm saying? It is some people that really, really are building. And for me, hitting the like button, if you could give a donation, cool. But if you hit the like button, I'm okay with that too. You know what I'm saying? Because it takes like 500 likes for your video to get boosted in a certain algorithm. And
Exactly.
yeah,
So
so
hit
yeah,
the
so that's
like
that's
button.
there's no
It's
such thing as,
free.
listen.
It's common courtesy. And I do want to say this. If you are one of the people that have been going to church and donating, because they still have an online church, and the
They
online
do?
church is still accepting donations.
Wow.
Some churches are taking place where they're social distance and they're rolling the they're rolling the collection plate on the ground.
You
If you
serious?
are one of those people that are still putting it forward to your pastor, I feel like we had a form of church for our people tonight. So
Yes.
you can $ Doggie Diamonds, send something to the Cash App, or you can send something to the Super Chat, as well as give a thumbs up on the video.
Yes. So this is my homegirl Mermaid. Give on your social media.
My social media is Natural Mermaid, and you see the spelling up there. It's Natural Mermaid. That's my Instagram, that's my YouTube, and my website is naturalmermaid.com. So Natural Mermaid on Instagram, YouTube, and naturalmermaid.com.
So you are a wellness. What would you told me before is something that you wanted to do before? Well, you said you wanted to deliver babies or something. Did you say that to me before?
Oh, I do doula work as well. I do doula work as well. I'm actually gonna. I have a doula client next month, but I do postpartum and birth doula work as well, and that's important during these times. Women, especially Black women that are watching this, you see what's happening with the Black women.
Yes, the
They
babies are
we are
dying.
5 times more likely to die at birth.
Wow.
5 times more likely to die at birth. Not just that, but you see all the things that have been happening recently with Black women in birth. So make sure to, if you can, invest in a midwife, especially with all this stuff taking place. It's just not the type of environment that you want to be in while giving birth, especially depending on what state you live in. So if you can invest in a midwife or at least a doula to be your mouthpiece for you at birth, to make sure that you are actually cared for and you're not just looked at as a sick patient, but your birthing process goes through peacefully and successfully.
Yeah,
Get
because you know
yourself.
what? Because you know there's a study that they believe that Black women don't feel pain like white women. So when some Black
Exactly.
women say they're in pain, they be like, it don't hurt. You know what I'm saying? Cut it out.
Right.
Yeah, drink some water. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So they
Yep.
don't look at us, some of us as humans. So they say we don't feel pain like they do. So no, that is real. So you do have to have a mouthpiece there for you. You do have to have people there. Can you put your well, it's just Natural Mermaid. You know what I'm gonna do, right? I'm gonna make sure that it's in the description box of this video when we get up out of here. So yeah.
Okay. You.
So this is somebody, if y'all want to see her again, because I've been auditioning, like I was gonna audition a few female co-hosts. There she goes, she put it in there. Oh, she's right in there anyway, so you can also follow her channel also. But I was auditioning a few female co-hosts. I'm gonna, but this is my homegirl here, and if y'all want to see more of her, then let it be known. Say bring her back. We want her on here. But as you can see, she's a little sweaty right now. I seen you wipe your mustache, your mustache. But and you know it's funny because I got the air conditioner off, so it's like, yo, I am in here tripping right now. But it is what it is.
Right.
But I want to
The
thank
South
y'all.
so it's hotter than the cabbage patch.
Yes. So I want to thank y'all for joining us tonight. We are about to get up out of here. Thank you to everybody who donated. Thank you everybody who hit the thumbs up button. Um we'll be back tomorrow. I guess we'll find a topic for tomorrow and come back and do this again. So yeah, shout out to everybody for joining us tonight. And with that, we are out of here. So I'm going to log you out, and then I'm gonna close out the show. Is that cool? So I'll holler at you later on.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Peace, y'all. Good night.
All right. Make sure y'all follow her. She is out of here. Okay. So she's not canceled, but she's off the screen. I don't want her to freeze right there like that. Well, anyway, yeah, but that's her name. So yeah, what's up, everybody? I am Doggie Diamonds. I'm gonna get up out of here. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. I thought it was a great discussion. Really, really positive, and it is what it is. We're gonna try to get some callers in next time, and it is what it is. I like to tease everybody. So it is what it is. So yeah, I like to talk to black women too. So that's who I be wanting my co-host to be, just black women who give different perspectives, that who could speak, and you have to invest in women. Our women are very important, and giving our women voices are very, very important. So it is what it is. I'm Doggie Diamonds. I'm out of here till next time. I'll be back tomorrow. Y'all, I've been here like, every day, the same time, what I'm saying, hitting y'all up like 8 o'clock, so that might be my new time to go live every day if possible. So with that, I thank y'all for joining me tonight. Y'all be safe. Enjoy the rest of y'all night. Yeah, I'm out of here. Peace.